Morning, afternoon, everybody. Hope you are well. Making sure I'm coming through okay. Who's in the room today? Andy, how you doing, buddy? Hope you're okay. Ash, how are you? Sahil, Fadil, Syed, Kat, Roger. Hope you are all well. Thanks for joining, and thanks for all the likes, by the way, before the stream. 12 likes. That's amazing. I appreciate that. And thank you for 700 subs. Taking a long time to get here. The goal of 1,000 subs by Christmas is still on, so I appreciate that as always. Okay, so the pound USD, I think there's a clear winner here, and it's an RTFX member, actually, Amira. I believe that's right, 1.34287. It's now at 1.344. It's coming off quite a bit, actually, the pound. But, yeah, well done, Amira. So I don't know if she's in the room here. She might be in the room or not. But hopefully you'll stay and get a free month with RTFX because it basically covers your free month. So well done. And who was second? Who was close by? Fonny was close. I was actually quite close. 1.34. Who else was close? Anyway, if you ain't first, you're last, right? So well done, Amira. And we'll do it all over again on Monday. Send me a message on Discord or Instagram, and we can talk to you about your $50. But well done. How's everybody's trading been this week? I know Andy's had a great week. Trader Bridges there, if you don't know. Had the trade of his life. He's been trading for 10 years, had the best trade of his life this month. So well done, Andy. I wish I was taking that GA. Pound Aussie to the upside. I would have passed my FTMO by now. I'm on 202. I've got until the 1st of December on this. EURUSD has been basically a slow burner. I kind of want a little bit more if I can get this because it's $4,000 position, so I'm basically on half an hour now. If I can get it up to 205 or something, I've still got a week. If I can win a trade next week, get up to around the 209, hopefully, it'll certainly guarantee my free repeat, which is the first thing I go for, and then I just go for it. Then the fun part comes, and I just go in, scalp, or just do whatever I try to do, and try and get that 10%. That's how I've passed it the last 2 times, and that is my personal tactic. Hey, Sean, mate. Hey, David. Month's going good. Good to hear, Syed. Arjunan. Hi, Ryan. I'm the first time joining your stream. Welcome, mate. I appreciate that. Okay, let's go into the index, because the index is something I'm looking at for a potential trade here. On the 4-hour chart, the index is good, pushing through highs. Can see a nice, if I zoom in, you can see a nice cut with handle here, a very clean one as well. It wasn't an aggressive entry, or it could have been an aggressive entry. Sorry, I was talking to the RTFX members this morning, but I didn't even think. I just completely forgot about it. So I'm not going to take it as part of my statistics because it's easy to say now because it's after the fact, right? So this could have been an aggressive entry, a lot of volume coming in and a rejection bar, come back up and respected that 20 and we're pushing on. So with this SPX, all I'm looking for now is a retest. 20 period catch up, retest, continuation in that stocks long. And it looks good. We had a decent correction through time rather than really through price here. And, the indexes are slightly different charts from the Forex market. And for me, taking that to the upside, if I get a setup buying the index, 100% I take that. So maybe one for next week. Early part of next week, maybe Monday, Tuesday, possibly Tuesday, Wednesday. But yeah, very clean. Very clean. Hey, Trevor, mate. Hope you are well. Dollar today is pushing on. I actually thought this might come off a little bit more. It may still do that. It may still fail to break these highs and give us a deeper corrective. But yeah, dollar strong. 4-hour looks quite good. You got your possible morning star there. I'm not sure if it came on volume. Not really much volume over Asia, but certainly looks pretty good from this simple corrective back to that 20. Yeah, I mean, you've got to go with that. Despite what I think about this daily, about possibly that extension on the 20, you've got to go with that dollar, right? You've got to go with that dollar strength. But just watch for a potential, not a dead cat bounce, but push on and another complex before continuation. But it doesn't look like it may want to do that. So here's a key level on the intraday. If you're looking here, I would consider this quite key for trend continuation. We obviously don't want to see an extension into it and a break into it because sometimes they are liable for a snapback. But if you get decent price action before for a breakthrough, may not look bad for continuation in the dollar. Your bias has got to be up, and it doesn't look too bad. Check GJ. Okay, I'll check GJ Syed for you. GJ, GJ, what do you think in GJ? You're getting some bearish signs here. Impulsive action or climactic price action. I know the pound has been quite strong, but it's coming off right now. That doesn't mean it has to stay. 4 hour looks a little bit possibly bearish, would you say? It's kind of a tough one to predict, I think. You're getting a quasi-igniting bearish pattern here, if this closes on volume, for possibly moving to the downside, which is ironic because you're probably looking at selling that yen, considering where the SPX is, right? But whether this is just some volatility on the open, we'll have to wait and see. We've seen pound rally. We know pound is certainly volatile. But in terms of bias for GJ, what are you looking at, Syed? For me, it could be going either way. You know, we could be just getting a reaction off this 20 for continuation in pound strength. Fundamentally, that would make sense. And it is bullish. It is bullish. So, you know, maybe you're just consolidating here from this push, and then we continue to the upside. But it's kind of on the fence. To be honest, it's kind of on the fence. But maybe, I mean, also smaller time frames, maybe if you get that impulse downward finished and we continue to the upside, I like the idea of buying GJ. It makes sense to me fundamentally. From an index wise, it makes sense to me. But that doesn't mean it has to happen. Doesn't mean it has to happen. Royce, got my dog down here. Okay, watch this today. So I'm still in this Euro-Swiss trade. Starting again to go quite well. It's been certainly a slow burner, that's for sure. Quite a boring trade to be involved in. But you can see on this 4 hour chart, it does look pretty clean, you know. Impulse corrective, slight impulse, bit of corrective. Selling into any Euro strength for me still makes sense. You know, you're going with that trend, and even though we're getting, you know, some pushes up, some climactics like we see, that's a decent fake out trade actually here. Look at that. Increasing volume coming into that climactic. That would have been a nice trade. Break out of that level for moving to the downside. But yeah, for me, selling into any Euro strength still makes sense. And this is looking okay now. But Euro Swiss is not the very nicest pair to trade. I think I'm going to keep TP1 in, just because of the length of time it's taken to get there, and we are kind of at a significant level on the weekly chart. So I'm going to keep that in there. Hopefully I can tag it, which will be good for my FTMO, but also good for my monthly. It looks good. Looks good to the downside. Now it's just about sitting on my bum and waiting. Patience. Patience, patience, patience. Swiss yen is another one that I kind of like today. Notice on this daily, I know we broke in through the anchor on the daily. However, we're in this corrective. We've got our confluence there with a long trade with this simple outside bullish engulfer, dark cloud cover, whatever you want to call it. But in terms of potential to move, you know, this could be the catalyst for movement to the upside. So yeah, I mean, this looks good. I was looking on the 30-minute chart. We've got our basing structure here, accumulation phase, breakout, retest. I would take that to the upside. Whenever I see Swiss yen on my list, I always light up. You know, I love the Swiss yen, as you guys probably know. I've not actually lost a Swiss yen trade this whole year, but maybe I jinxed it there. But yeah, breakout, retest on the smaller time frames, potential for a breakout on the 4 hour as well from this area here, probably a better level. So we've got our basing structure, and we could be getting this, head and shoulders, we could be getting accumulation, waiting for that 20 period to kind of curl over for movement to the upside or a breakout to the upside. So Swiss yen, I do like, you know, and we have our catalyst there, we have our confluence, which is very similar to New Zealand yen. New Zealand yen, also something that I do like. The chart is actually a little bit better than the Swiss yen. If we notice where we're coming from, impulse, simple trend theory, okay, corrective back to this support zone, previous resistance becoming new support, and we've got our confluence there, bullish momentum coming into this support. So will this be impulse corrective impulse. You know, it looks to be digested certainly enough for me. And, you know, whenever I take trades, I want to be in trades that can run and run and run. That's where my edge comes from, those big winners. And this is certainly something that if we get some momentum, and fundamentally that makes sense considering where the index is, it could be good. So the setup's coming on this 4-hour chart, very similar to Swiss yen. Could be getting our head and shoulders. We've got our V reversal here, waiting essentially for this 20 period catch up to curl up, break out to the upside. No, this is A class for me, maybe even A star. It's a trade that I want to take. Whether I get it or not is a different story. Just because I like it doesn't mean I'm putting my order in right now. But if we can get a rejection here, maybe some bars coming up, we've got our anchor to our stop. So the risk reward is not bad for movement to the upside. So NZD JPY, I know a few guys in A1 were looking at that. And I believe someone in RTFX was looking at that as well. This is really nice. This is certainly my favorite of the bunch right now. Sorry, I'm just going through. Aussie yen. Hey, John, mate. Hope you're well. Aussie yen. Okay, I'll look at Aussie yen, Pradeep. One for a trade running behind the scenes. Yeah, Euro Swiss running behind the scenes while you have less boring trades going. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It has been boring, but I think it's going to win. I would rather be selling it than buy it. I think it's going to win now, but let's see. US Tech. What do you mean, Roger? US Tech. Darren, hey Ryan, any tips for the FTMO challenge? I'm up 4%. Well done, and I have 3 weeks left. Thank you. That's a good question, Darren. I was looking at this since the beginning of the week. Yeah, NZD JPY is great, Sean. I really like that. So, Darren, my tips for FTMO, I have lots of them. The number one thing is patience, right? This is something that maybe some people forget, but 3 weeks is a long time. Right, and there's that sometimes what's the word? Need to try and pass it quickly, but you've got plenty of time. Being 4% up is great. Number one is guarantee that free repeat. That for me is always, because you're not going to be spending money. You know, for me the 200K cost $1,300, right? So I've probably spent about $5,000 on this so far. But yeah, just you seem to be doing well, so be patient with it. And just keep in your mind, right, I'm going for the free repeat. And then if you get your 4 or 5%, just go for it. Go for it the last couple of days. Guarantee that, and you never know what can happen. 10% a month is difficult. 10% in that 30 days that FTMO bound by you is difficult. You've got to get a little bit of luck. You know, trading is not about luck and hope and stuff, but you need a little bit of luck. So yeah, that's what I would say, Darren. Just continue doing what you're doing and don't try to force anything. That's my biggest tip, because it will come. You force it, it might not. You know, it might not. Another one I really like. A lot of these pairs I really like, you know. 225 I really like. This is good. This is clean. You can see it there. It's not an aggressive entry because there wasn't enough volume on that engulfer, but this is good. I want to tag at this level. The good thing about this is the 20 period is close by. I always like that close by for my breakout trades. So if we get a tag, accumulation, 20 catch up, I take the breakout. Ideally for this, because right now your stop's got to be under here, and we kind of want a better risk reward than that. So ideally we get another slight reload, maybe like this. So your stop loss can come here, your breakout's there, your risk reward is a little bit better. Doesn't have to move as far for you to get 1-to-1. So oh, you can't see that, sorry. Let me move this down. 1 second. Yeah, so what I mean by that there is if you've got that, our 1-to-1 is here rather than like all the way up here for our risk reward. So yeah, I like the 225, absolutely. I like where the daily is. Potential for that on the daily. It's gone out the realms of trend continuation to the downside, although nothing is out of the question. It certainly looks better long than it does short. So this is good. Around the 20, and again, ready to potentially move to the upside. That's what we want. We want trades that are going to run and run and run. Because you have a few of them a year, you can break even for the rest of the time. You'll be fine. You know, 3 or 4 10%ers, break even the rest of the time. You'll be outperforming the majority of traders. That is for damn sure. So 225 I like. Aussie CAD. Aussie CAD is another one. Aussie CAD here. Now, this was interesting because I was talking when I was doing my stream yesterday about this aggressive entry. I said this is actually one here, but I didn't specify where my stop is. So with my aggressive entries, what I'm trying to do here is obviously sell the candle. But I don't know whether I would still be in this because I didn't put the exact price. Because notice we've got a little bit of a wick breaching through this bar here, which our aggressive entry would be on. I think I would be in it. I'm pretty sure I would given it like a little bit of a gap, but I don't know whether that's me putting my hindsight Harry hat on and saying, oh yeah, no, I would have definitely done that, because I don't know. I haven't written it down. But it's something that is interesting because it puts that information in your mind that, okay, this happened with Aussie CAD. So I have to give myself a little bit of room and not be too aggressive with that stop. That's not to say you put it all the way up here, but it's certainly to say give it a little bit of room in case this happens. So that would have been a decent entry. Probably would have been still in, but I don't really want to say that. It's probably unfair to say that. But the setup is great. You know, this is good. Catalyst here. Looks like we're moving to the downside. Very similar to the 225. Just wanting this. You know, there's a few potential pairs here that could look really good for next week. And which is a big week for me because it's really the last week for my FTMO. So Aussie CAD downside looks good. Looks good. Looks good on the daily as well. I like where it is on the daily. We're going with that trend. The trend is your friend. Notice here on recent price action as well. It's giving you that catalyst. It's giving you that indication from this recent price action that pullback is potentially complete. 20 period curling over. Simple stuff, right? I know we've got an area here, but we should hopefully get one-to-one before that area. But simple stuff. Going with the trend. It doesn't need to be complicated. My strategy certainly isn't complicated, but, you know, it works. It works. And finally, excuse me. And finally, USD Mexican. Don't know if Griffey's in the room. Is Griffey or Ash in the room? I actually didn't know FTMO had USD Mexican until I properly looked for it. So this has got a little bit of time to go. You can kind of see your basing structures here. If we consider our 30 to 50% rule of digestion, right, which is roughly this, you need that here. Because remember, if you are a breakout trader, the most important part of the breakout is just before a break. So we don't want to be, even, that's not saying this can't go. Obviously, anything can happen. But for me, the area just before is how we avoid those, well, most of the 70% of failed breakouts, okay? Because that's roughly the statistics. And doing that by not taking breaks that are kind of coming from deep, by not taking climactic breaks, you know, you kind of avoid a lot of them fakes. And this, with also this, it kind of possibly looks like we're losing momentum into that area. So a loss of momentum kind of looks like this. Okay, when you're getting very little reward for your decent pushes. Okay, so that kind of loss of momentum there. What sometimes happens, and you've got your impulse, by the way. So a lot of you guys will know the impulse, loss of momentum, harder reset, continuation. So if we get that here, this would be great. You know, if we get a harder reset for something like this, again, this will probably be towards the end of next week. This would be great. Daily looks good. Broken out of this structure here. And the good thing about it is it's also got a decent bit of room before next major support. You know, if we're breaking out here, okay, maybe we've got liquidity here, but we break through that, there's massive clear air. And the risk reward is good. So, yeah, USD Mexican is certainly something I do like. Sorry, I was in the zone there. I wasn't looking at your chat. Gold going good, Ravi. Okay, good. I'll have a look at gold. Nasdaq. I don't have Nasdaq, Roger. I don't have it on my charts. I've never traded in Nasdaq. I don't know why. I've just never traded it. Yeah, no worries, Darren. No worries, Darren. No worries, John. Thank you, John. I appreciate it. Yeah, 25 likes, guys. 25 likes on a Friday would be great. Ryan, what are your thoughts on synthetic indices? I don't even know what a synthetic indice is. What's a synthetic indices? Am I alone on that? Am I being stupid? Should I know what that is? Synthetic indices. Let me Google that. Synthetic indices. Synthetic indices. Fingers crossed for you, Ryan. Hope you get all the setups. Thank you, Kat. I appreciate that. Sorry. And touching to synthetic industries. Well, basically, Fadil, is I don't know. I don't have any thoughts of it. I'm not going to go into this now because I don't really know what they are. Offer tight spreads and leverage trades. If you like to give some energy, you can trade them on derivative depending on your risk appetite. Contract for difference, options, and multipliers. I can't. I'd have to go through that. I mean, I guess so. Yeah, CFDs. That's what eToro does, right? Most of the time, that's what eToro is. I'd have to go through that. Fadil, I don't have an opinion on it. To be honest with you, I've never heard of it until you just mentioned it right now. So, okay, let's have a look at gold. Let's have a look at gold for Ravi. Gold is in corrective mode. Again, from this movement from here, very similar to the dollar. Dollar and gold are going in the same direction, right? Which is not what you would normally expect, but sometimes it happens. And boo, is that nice? I wouldn't say that's very nice. Failed to break through this that we kind of identified here. It's kind of, let me zoom in, sorry, so you can see that. Kind of, no, it's not really retested that area. Looks, it doesn't look nice, you know. Doesn't look nice, gold, for continuation on that 4 hour. Maybe you're even getting this. Break underneath here. You could see a deeper, gold does like a deeper retracement. For continuation, possibly. I wouldn't be massively, but then you're getting some rejection here on the hourly. It's not really in a nice place. This was your entry for gold right there. That was your entry. You look at it. Okay, you've got your uptrend here, and then you've got a simple corrective. You've got your outside bullish engulfer closing above the 20, above the 200. Is it coming on volume? Didn't really come on volume, but that could have been a nice entry for gold. So if you're in it, yeah, wait for a swing. Try to capture some profit. If you're not, I wouldn't be buying it right now because maybe you don't have an indication. But maybe you do. Maybe you do here. Are we moving down here to take these stops out? This is a bullish sign for continuation. Absolutely. But you are coming from this. So it's a bit of, I think there's, I understand there's people that like to trade gold specifically and like maybe GJ, all that kind of stuff. For me, I'm looking for pairs that look the best to move. So for me, looking at gold, I'm thinking if I'm looking at that chart or I'm looking at the New Zealand yen, what to me looks better? Now, that doesn't mean it has to go up, but what has more potential? For me, this does. So finding that watch list on pairs that you really like is important. I think I understand people trade gold specifically, but I just don't think it's in a position where you make a lot of money out of it because it could go either way. Same with probably GJ. Same with GJ. This could go either way. It's just not the nicest chart. It's not the nicest chart. When you're looking at this, you think this should rise, but it looks a little bit bearish here. Looks a bit bearish. Are they like CFDs? Yeah. So I remember I used eToro back in the day, and they definitely did CFDs. But yeah, you can maybe educate me, Fadil. I don't really understand that, but if it's CFDs, then it's CFDs, right? So I don't see what the difference is. If I'm being honest with you, what's the difference between that and what we're doing here? Putting trades on the SPX, I'm not sure. Thanks, Kirk. I appreciate that, mate. Ravi, Ryan, you looks like Brendan McCallum, New Zealand cricket player. Brendan McCallum, let's see. I hope that's a compliment. Brendan McCallum. New Zealand cricket coach. This guy. I'll take that. I'll take that. Look, he's fit there. Thanks, mate. Appreciate that. If it was a compliment, I'll take it. 2 more likes, guys, for 30. If you want me to look at anything, let me know now. A younger version of that. Thank you, Kat. I appreciate that. If you want me to look at anything, let me know now. If you are interested in joining us, the link is there. I've changed it from the Discord because a lot of people will actually just joining the Discord and not doing anything else in like the kind of waiting room. So yeah, when you sign up, you get 7 days free. But in order for us to track your 7 days free, we've got to register with the website, all that kind of business stuff. But it takes 2 minutes. It's very simple. Then we'll grant you access to our Discord. And when you become a full member, you get a chance to win that 50K FTMO monthly. You get the chance to win $200 a month, and obviously with the $50 that I give away here. So show me somebody who does that, and I'll buy you a beer. Sorry, what was I looking at? USD yen. Oh, sorry, USD yen. I think someone asked me about that as well. USD yen. Do you know what? I like the idea of buying the USD yen. Right? I believe the USD yen should be rising, but that is not what the chart is telling me. Right now, the chart is telling me, and remember, dollar could go on a deeper corrective, that it's looking like this, and really, this could be your indication to sell it. So despite, and this is why I'm a technical trader, despite what's happening fundamentally, and despite what should be happening with the USD yen, it's not what we're seeing. So this, to me, looks short now, rather than long. And certainly this puts a little bit of worry. I was looking at long here, and it kind of did go long here. So if you got long, you should have taken some profits. But this changes your sentiment massively. And again, looks short. Despite what I think, it looks short, right? You know, this breakthrough has ultimately failed. This breakout of highs has ultimately failed. Sometimes what you see with this, with charts on an uptrend, is something like this, and then boom, back up to the upside. Somewhere there, back up to the upside, continuation. Because how many times, I don't know about you, but how many times you get stopped out of trades, there you go, it's kind of coming off a bit, before they move in your direction, right? So, yeah, USD yen looks a little bit shorty. Can you watch Bitcoin? Yeah, sure, Matthew. Bitcoin, crypto market's been taking a little bit of a hit recently, but are we coming to the end of it? Maybe. Could we be coming to the end of it here? It's not. I wouldn't consider this an ABC, but maybe we're in line for a bit of upward movement, but at the moment you've got to consider it to be a corrective upward movement, possibly back to this area here on Bitcoin that we've broken out of. So it could be a breakout retest, continuation. That, I think, considering where the daily is, that could be your bias. You know, we didn't want this to happen, certainly from this structure, because this was nice. This structure here was nice. You'd expect continuation, but we've fallen off here. And it's turned into a little bit messy. But in terms of your naked Forex chart patterns, that's your bullish indicator. If it closes like this, yeah, buy it. You know, I don't mind Bitcoin moving. You kind of want, oh yeah, it's moving. EURUSD is moving. Sorry, thanks, Gareth. Holy shit, I've been taken out. Oh, well, there you go, hit TP1. Thanks, Gareth, I appreciate that. I should have taken it out, bloody hell. Anyway, I banked to you. Look, I'm on 205.4 now. Perfect. This is great. Which means it's all risk-free. I will now, because we've got, thanks Gareth for that, because we've got an anchor here, so when this closes, I'll get back to Bitcoin, but when this closes, I move my stop to break even, you know, down here, which is actually in 30 minutes, so I'm just going to move my stop here anyway, because if it comes back up, the premise of the trade is wrong. So look at that. That is a massive lesson in patience. Right, that's all it was. I didn't do anything here. Yes, it was frustrating. Yes, absolutely. Look how long it take to hit that TP1. But we got there. You know, we got there. In a past life, I would have taken out here. I would have taken out here. But you know, I'm not a smart guy. I just have a lot of patience. That's it. That's what possibly changes it. Euro NZD. God, what's happening here? Something's all gone crazy. Euro NZD? What's happening? The yen's moving, so USD yen might be coming off. Yeah, yen. Yeah, I mean that's actually not a bad trade. You know, that was actually not a bad trade. Sorry, I'll go back into Bitcoin. I can't really go through everything now. I don't know what's happening. Let's have a look at NZD. Okay, so this is now off. So despite what all I said, this is obviously gone. So forget all that. But I'm happy. Euro Swiss hit my TP1. I can go in. Well, I can't go and have a beer because I'm on 30 days sober. But that's great. Happy with that. Okay, sorry. Bitcoin. Friday TPs. Yeah, I know. It's lovely, right? It's just that kind of risk-free feeling now. I'm like, I don't need to go. I don't need to do anything. I can go to the pool and off. And I also made it on my real account. So great, right? Perfect. Okay, sorry. So Bitcoin, what I essentially was just saying was just buy the dip. I mean, let's not get too complicated with it. If you buy it here, great. If it comes down a bit more, buy it again. You know, dollar cost average down. It keeps coming down. Keep buying it. You know, if you really think Bitcoin's get 100 grand, just keep buying it. That's the easiest thing with Bitcoin. From a trading perspective, I would probably be looking at this reason to enter, continuation to the downside. That probably has to be your bias. Okay, sorry, I've got to go through everything else. Done Bitcoin. Are you planning on exiting Euro Swiss? Well, I guess that's done now. So in Euro Swiss now, I'm just going to trail the swings. So it's all risk free. I can't lose any money on it, and I will just be waiting for basically this. So this, move my stop. This, move my stop. This, move my stop, and hopefully capture more and more profit. I should have taken TP1 out there. I didn't expect that to move. It's hindsight, is it? That's hindsight, me talking. That's hindsight. Everyone's saying Euro Swiss, Euro Swiss, Euro Swiss. Congrats, great. Thanks, guys. My TP 11, 2, 3, 4 hit. Oh, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Nice, excellent. Friday, yeah, I have 2 trades still and trailing stop loss down. Yeah, just trail that now. I mean, you're going with the trend, right? Euro is weak. I mean, selling, I'm not always right, but selling into any euro strength does make sense. Maybe against those risk-off currencies today, but, you know, whatever. Done. Yeah, Gareth, I should, yeah. All right, well, I'll leave it on that. Drop a like. If you're interested, links are above. It's not just me at RT Forex, by the way. There's 2 other mentors, American Glenn and another Scotch guy, Andy. Got about 20 years experience. So if you're interested in that, click the link. If not, have a great weekend. I will be back on Monday. And trade safe. Trade safe. Cheers, guys. Peace.